Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Matt Tebow with Stacked, and right now I'm joined by Cloud9 head coach Mithy, coming off their first win of the weekend over Team Liquid, advancing to 1-2 in the summer split, as well as returning from MSI, looking to put some new hope for North America. Mithy, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm glad we won at least one game this weekend.
I mean, can't go wrong with that. So, first thing I want to talk about after MSI, before the summer split starts. I'm sure MSI didn't go exactly as you guys wanted it to. There were a lot of some disappointing games, but there were also flashes of brilliance that you guys showed a lot of. As you're coming back from MSI and you're preparing for the summer split, what's that timeline like, and what do you do to prepare for the summer split?
Well, summer split is 27 games plus playoffs, so it's a long road ahead. It's not like the spring split. And since we're coming out of MSI, well, the most important thing is not burning out at Worlds, since Worlds is sort of a marathon too. It's not like as fast as MSI, it takes quite a while, plus the boot camp and so on. Most important thing for us is, not burning out at Worlds and trying to cater ourselves or gain some confidence back in some of the things, understand our identity. Just slowly. I mean, now we have Calvin working with us, so, integrate him to the team. Just the grind, basically. Just back to the grind.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys take it easier after you got back from MSI after the flight? Did you take a week off, or did you schedule less scrims than you usually would?
Oh, I mean, we scrimmed for 3 days before we played on stage. Mm-hmm. So all of the time that we had, we just tried to give the guys some space, like before MSI, after MSI. We understand that the tournament is important, but there were some limitations to the tournament because of COVID. Luca wanted to go home. Honestly, the spring split was pretty tough with the lock-in tournament. It basically, tournaments take a lot more of you than the regular split, right? So definitely we wanted to take a break before MSI, and then we wanted to bootcamp together, but we couldn't because of COVID, so we didn't have much time there. And then now we came back here, and we still want to make sure that we don't get burned out for Worlds. So it's just a slow, we just have to be careful. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you said Perks wanted to go home for a bit. Did he actually wind up getting the chance to go back to Croatia, or was that?
Yeah, he did. I mean, we could have maybe have him stay and then scrim NA teams before we go to MSI, since we were quite a few patches behind. But we decided, it's best if everyone just takes some rest, and then we group up there and try to play catch up a little bit. I mean, it's just how things are, because of COVID. We can't make a boot camp in Iceland and all go there because of regulations there. So it's just life. It's what it is.
Yeah, of course. And as far as the team coming back together, I think one of the big things that's on everybody's mind is King's performance in the past 3 games. Personally, I think King's performed very well. But of course, there's going to be a lot of discussion when Sven, who's arguably one of your best performers at MSI, gets benched. So, one of the things I wanted to ask, right? What does King bring to the table that Sven doesn't?
Well, I just think a change was good for both sides. Well, we will see in hindsight, if it was or wasn't. I think they're both great players, and we should just focus on King's strengths. And I think he's a young blood. He has a lot to learn and a lot to give, and maybe what he has to give can make a difference for us. And then moving into playoffs, we might have a better chance. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I think what I'm trying to see is is there anything that King does that changes the dynamic of the team? Certain players play certain ways. Does King play a way more? Do you feel King plays way more aggressive, or does he want to contest objectives more? Things like that.
Well, I think it's very it's just very hard to say right now. I've seen Sven play for a long time. I haven't really seen King play, and when a player plays against better players than what he used to, then he also evolves as a player. So I think it's just very soon to tell, and we just have to see how Calvin develops in his new position.
Of course, and I think the development has seemed to be going very well. He seems like he's really kind of finding that niche, especially like there were a couple really good Kaisa ults this last game where he just got in and annihilated everything that he got near. And I think that's that evolution we've seen over the past weekend, right? Like those first two games you guys played this weekend were losses, but you wind up winning this one. What was it that you guys worked on over the course of the weekend to kind of get this result?
I mean, we're just talking things through, trying to understand like what works for us, what we want to play. We don't really have a good understanding of the meta right now. Like we don't have like confidence in playing certain team comps, so we are winging most of the things that we're doing. And like we just have had like 3 exploratory days where we're like trying Gwen, trying Diego, because we haven't seen any of those champions before, you know, and seeing what got nerfed and what buffed, and then just theory crafting how we want to play. But you know, we haven't really had the time to sit down and, you know, practice and grind it out. So on that side, it's just been us talking it through and what we could have done better, and you know, like just understanding that it's not a marathon. I mean, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon, right? Like we just have to slowly grind things through, and then for Calvin, I think he's starting to understand the differences between Academy and LCS, like both teams, not the leagues itself, but like how they communicate, how we communicate, what's different, what he needs to add. So, and like what he's learned, like what's new, like how we work compared to how Academy works. And yeah, I mean, it's just like an adaptation, and he's literally had 3 days before playing this weekend, so he's done an amazing job. And you know, it's just, we just have to keep at it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the transition period's been easier for King because he's got Fudge in the top lane who's kind of able to help him through it, since they have that synergy from before?
Yes, but at the same time, you know, we basically live together. Not really live together, but you know, we're all in the same house. Like we see each other all the time. We work out together. So it's not been the same transition as it would be like some guy out of nowhere coming in and being like, "Hey, I'm Alfonso. You know, nice to meet you, you guys." You know, like I think we all know each other. He'd already subbed for us, but you know, he's not a sub anymore, and it's a big change, because as a sub, you're just quiet, you do your job, and you know, go play with your team the day after. But now he has to adapt, and that's an evolution that takes some time.
Yeah, of course. Mithy, thanks so much for your time, man. Once again, this is Matt Tebow with Stacked. You can find us online at stacked.gg, and you can follow us on our socials at StackedLOL. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming, and we don't want you to miss it. Mithy, thanks so much for your time, man, and good luck with the rest of the summer split.
Thank you.